Plan is to go trolling. Get the setup ready. Try to get some wahoo, mahi, anything that bites the lures, maybe some tuna if we're lucky. Yeah, we're leaving the dock now. Beautiful day today in the Bahamas. We'll do it. Hey, show them the squids, Gio.
How's it going? Got some teasers, man. If those teasers don't work, we're gonna put this one on.
Yeah, a little rocky out here. Dealing with not ideal conditions,
it's 40,
but
bro.
We'll have to do. 9 a.m. Getting after it. Rough out here. Making do what we can. Damn, we got a sailboat over there. Taking an absolute beating. Some flying fish, look at that. Good morning, everybody. Here trolling day 2. Got Gio here.
How's it going?
Yesterday, a bit of a disappointment. Didn't catch too much. Kudas, skipjack, or bait. Went out on the boat though, got some bugs and nice Nassau grouper. So Gio ate that for dinner.
Got a shark trolling.
Oh yeah, got like a 200-pound shark. Maybe we could roll the clip. But yeah, a lot nicer today. Do a little more filming, just set the spread out, so hopefully we get something good today.
Nice water.
Yes, sir.
Go, baby! Broke the ice.
Finally, baby. Yes, sir.
Good teamwork, baby! That's a dog right there!
Wahoo.
Get a picture on it.
Beautiful wahoo.
Hey, put the spread out real quick so we take a picture.
On the blue.
Come on.
Underwater team's gonna have to take over and get us some dinner, baby. It's rough out here. Probably in 30-ish feet of water here. Water's so clear here. That's why you come to the Bahamas. Yeah, let's do it. Hello everybody, welcome underwater. I am Frank and I'm going to be doing your underwater voiceovers. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video, really appreciate it, and hopefully you've been enjoying the content so far. So yeah, let's dive right in. So in the first clip, the camera got a little dirty, but we fixed it right after, so don't mind that. But here we are, we're making our first drop here. Absolutely gorgeous clarity this day. Usually how it is in the Bahamas when you get to these remote islands. This spot was around 40-ish feet of water. You can see as I'm making the dive, there's a bunch of schoolmaster snappers to the left, and right away I heard a big thud and I saw a big tail, and at first I thought it was a black grouper, but it ended up being a nice big cubera. He ended up checking me out for a second and then ducking off into another cave to the right there. If I had to guess, it was probably around 30-35 pounds, a real nice fish. So it stinks that we couldn't get another view at him. But as I'm swimming up, I look to my right and I notice a big hogfish trying to blend in with the reef, and I start booking it over there. I think I was a little tad aggressive, but when you see a fish like this, your adrenaline starts going and all you want to do is get it as soon as possible. Usually hogfish are one of the easier fish to hunt in my opinion. They're usually a little mellow and they let you get pretty close. This one was real big, as you can see. I'd say probably like a 8-9 pounder, but he just didn't want what I had to offer, and yeah, swam away. It's unfortunate, but that's just how spearfishing is sometimes, and makes you wonder that may be the reason why he got so big. Switching spots here. Once again, very good viz. That's usually how it is in the Bahamas. Just to go a little more in depth on our gear, we're rocking the Headhunter Nomad pole spears, and we also have some of the Predator pole spears they have, and we absolutely love their pole spears. They are some of the best in the game, and yeah, no complaints on them. This spot was around 45 feet to the sand, and it's just a beautiful swim through cave, so always nice to have spots like this that are super cool to look at. So here I'm loading up my pole spear and I'm making a drop on a nice mutton snapper. I do this little hand trick that sometimes gets the fish attention, but this guy did not want to have anything to do with my hand tricks and was just minding his own business. Usually with chum they become a little more interested, but also in the Bahamas when you chum it attracts sharks, so we try not to do that too much over here. And in this video it might seem like every drop we do we run into a nice fish, but that certainly isn't the case. We're doing hundreds of drops a day between multiple spots, so just keep that in mind. Maybe as we progress, since it's the first video I'm just showing the highlights, so maybe as we go I'll show more drops, get more in depth of what structure to look for and how to pick and choose your spots. But yeah, here I'll just stick to catching the fish and showing the cool stuff. Here we actually could see there's a nice black grouper. He's darting in and out. I'm using a little grunting trick to try to lure him in, and sure enough goes right under a rock, kind of basically right under us. So here I'm making the first drop to try and locate the fish. Sometimes it's hard because you have to keep in mind we're carrying I think these are the 8-foot nomads, so we're carrying around these 8-foot nomads, and as opposed to spear guns it's especially hard to rock hunt or to hole hunt, or however you want to call it, with pole spears. So it just adds a little bit of extra difficulty. Here I go to I find kind of the hole I think he's in, and unfortunately the slip tip fell off, but the first thing I actually see is antennas for a real nice lobster, and I let it rip. I stuck to the lobster and pulled him out, and we secured some dinner for the night. So after catching that nice lobster, we separated the head from the tail so we could chum the head of the lobster. That is a tactic they use over here in the Bahamas that is great chum for fish. You actually cannot do that in Florida. Whole lobster must be intact until you get to the dock. So sure enough, once we chummed the head, a nice mutton started feeding on it. So I went ahead and made a drop on the other side of this little swim through cave. I did that just to keep a little element of surprise, and once I came out of the other side I saw the mutton, and as he was heading out did a little grunting. He turned his head, came back in, and I let it fly, and luckily I stoned him. So in the spearfishing world that's probably one of the best shots you can do, a stone shot, because it takes the fish out of their misery quick and it doesn't make a big commotion underwater, which attracts predators like sharks and anything that wants to take your fish. What happened to the mutton? What happened to the mutton? I know what happened to him. Moving spots here, I'm making a drop on two beautiful African pompano. You can see one has like a little angel wing on it, which is known as like a juvenile. And I take a shot on the bigger of the two, and luckily it lands. And you can see my belt reel start to absolutely peel. slowing it down here, I just wanted to point out that it is a little bit farther of a shot than I prefer on a fish like this, but just some days you're lucky. As you can see, we're super stoked about the fish. It's always a great day when you can get an AP in the box. And yeah, great fish to add to the box. I also wanted to add, if you're thinking about going diving in the Bahamas, I definitely recommend investing in a belt reel. It'll make your life much easier on strong and big fish like this. Also with kingfish and mackerel and cuberas even too, which you see a lot in the Bahamas. In this clip, I'm looking off in the distance, I see a nice cubera there, but he was just cruising. When you see a cubera out of the structure like that, it's very rare they give you a shot. So as I look down, I see a real nice school of permit, which permit is a great eating fish. So I go down on them, I single out the big one, which is in the back of the school here, and it looks like they're starting to spook. So I go around, and the big one actually changed his mind, turned around, and ended up giving me a nice look at him, and I let it fly. The shot was a little high on the fish, but that's fine. I mean, these slip tips are just, sometimes it's magic the way they work. Sometimes they just attach to a fish and don't let go, which you'll see here. It actually created quite the tangle down there. This fish ended up taking about 20 minutes to get out, so I'd say a collective 5 to 6 dives between me and my dad that you see him there. But we ended up getting the fish out, so another great fish to add to the box. A tip of advice that I definitely say is when you get in a scenario like this, you really want to dispatch the fish as quickly as possible. Here we did not do that, but definitely recommend doing that, so it just takes one less variable out of the equation. It's also better for the fish, you know, get them out of their misery quicker. So yeah, definitely don't do what I did and leave the fish alive. We ended up dispatching him once we get to the surface though, so yeah, just real nice fish, got him out, and real stoked about this one. After all the commotion with the permit, a nice mutton showed up to check things out. I made a very aggressive drop on him to try to get the jump on him, but he bolted away. Here he came a little bit more curious, but it still didn't have it. So, and there was a lot of water here. It was 52 to the sand, and after getting that permit, I was already gassed, so I wasn't really in the mood to chase him. Land today, got some fish and lobster off the shore. Found a nice reef on Google Earth, so we're gonna try to hit that and see what's up there. Got the Calcutta, our pole spears or gear, ready to rumble in the little Nissan Note. Yes sir, yes sir. Crew's coming out now. Let's do it. Yes sir.
This is Tamarind. It could be a little sour. A little sour.
Just a little bit. Alright, gents. What is the objective today?
Not get swelled,
Take the beach.
not get barreled.
Shoot some fish.
Landing in town. Look at all the trash. It's crazy. Alright everyone, as we wrap up the video, I wanted to do one last quick shore dive that we did. It was just a quick spot I found on Google Earth. And this day the wind was ripping like 25 miles an hour, so we were kind of landlocked. So I just thought it'd be interesting to drive to the other side of the island and see if we could catch anything. Here we're swimming. The viz was alright. It was not that good. The camera makes it seem better than it really was. A little bit of trash and debris in the water, which is kind of a shame. But as I go under this rock, I'm looking and I actually forgot my light, so I had to put my head all the way in there. I see a nice big lobster to my left, and he was just sitting there. So I took my time, lined up the shot, and secured dinner for the day. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, until next time, more content on the way. It's just the first of many. Peace.